So let's just knock this out the way. Soul. I don't even gotta say anything else. It's just Soul. I think it's pretty much this. Chipp. Yeah, Trilla's got like, it's not even just, you don't even need to be S tier, it's just Soul. Just like that. I still think she might drop a little bit, but she's really potent right now. And I'd say like Millia. Nagoriyuki. Really strong right now. I think it's Geo. She struggles in some places, but it's not that bad. So I think like this is pretty solid here. He's kind of, he fluctuates to me. He's either A or B plus. Leo right next to Chipp. It's a tough one on that one. Like, in some cases, this can be somewhat true with him. But I'm gonna move him around in a minute, most likely. I think she leads this. I think he's here. He's here. He's here. I think it's pretty much these three after that. No order. Right? Because like everyone can fight. Even if you wanted to just throw him in, you know. I think he's just a question mark right now though. Goldlewis? I think he's just a question mark. Yeah, I think the tier list is pretty condensed, honestly. I think these are all some of the strongest characters right now in the game. I think all these characters are good, but they just have some weaknesses. Like, I think these are very pilot heavy characters. Same with these. But like, these guys have a lot more faults. I guess if I had to say anything, I'll put Anji as the leader of this pack. But I think that there's still going to be some tech for him. Like in some cases, I kind of feel Anji's a lot better than people give him credit for. I think he's better than these three, personally. Like, I feel like he's thinning out right now. Like, he's getting better as people are getting better. Like, it's very hard for me to put him down here personally. Because I feel like his damage output's not something to be scoffed at. Like, he has pretty decent mix-up. Butterfly is kind of a build, but it's really not that bad. I've been seeing Skater do some stuff with the character. Not just him, but you know, even seeing when KV was playing him, Lost Souls. So I'm seeing there are some stuff with him. And like, if you can work it out with him, like, I think he can work. And his meter gain isn't bad either. I don't think his meter gain is bad. I mean, Faust is improving, but it's not by much. If anything, the only thing that made Faust good is having a better matchup with Goldlewis. Right? But I think this is kind of like my spread right now. So let me get into like why I think this is the way it is. Like, I put Soul up here by himself for the obvious reason, right? It's just Soul. But everyone else, I feel like they can fight each other all really well. Like, to varying degrees, right? I feel like all the other characters besides Soul can exploit each other's weaknesses to some extent. And like, I feel like this is where the game is balanced, right? Like, if you pull Soul aside, I feel like this is pretty good of a game spread, if you ask me. Because then if you still factor in the outplay potential and stuff like that, like, this isn't bad. I don't think so. But moving forward into it, I don't really have to tell you guys why Chipp's up here. I've said this shit since the beta. People are like slow and don't listen to actual Guilty Gear players. Lol. You know, but whatever. You know, that's how I feel about that, and I've been saying he was good. but that's no question anymore. Mei, I feel like Mei is still kind of one-dimensional, but it's a good one-dimensional for her game plan. She still has a command grab to keep you honest, which is nice. She is hard to punish in a lot of cases, so that's what kind of like, you know, with the addition of the backdash button, you know, you can do backdash dolphins a lot more consistently, and it allows for her pressure to be that much stronger. Also, the stagger on counter hit dolphins is pretty strong too, you know? So, it's another like important thing to note. So, yeah. She has, you know, +3 close slash. She has it in the 5k and close slash dash cancels, which are both strong. You know, and she has blue RC, like pressure off of that too. So it's like, she has a lot of good stuff, right? It's like most people, they're not using it like that right now because she has other ways to utilize her meter. But it's just more layers on top of what she has, which is why I feel like right now she's very one-dimensional. And I think at some point in time, people will start utilizing more of those things. Just not so much. So, I don't really need to order this. I just think the A tier characters are just all good. Millia, the good thing about Millia is her damage is consistent on every mix-up. She does roughly the same damage on every mix-up. Her corner carry is great. Her air-to-airs are great. She's just a mix-up machine, you know? So, I think she's pretty much where she should be. I don't think she's like S tier or anything like that, but I definitely think she's in the A tier. So, there's not much to say about her. It's always gonna be sweep disc. There's really not much else to say about it. Like, she knocks you down, she's supposed to try to mix you up. Obviously, if she doesn't land a successful mix-up, obviously this character gets weaker, right? But her neutral's still pretty solid for what it is for a speedster. And Capel makes, you know, it makes for her to have a lot of good ways to stay mobile. So, she's solid to me. Nagoriyuki creeped up on me, and I would say he's just like one cut away from being like an S tier character in my opinion. I feel like his damage output is really high. His ability, he has, in my honest opinion, the best ability to bait burst.
How you doing?
I think outside of Soul, he has the best, right? And Soul just does this because far slashes in general, right? But he has a back teleport, and the back teleport allows him to bait burst very, very easily. Like, yeah. I do think he has some matchups that can be somewhat polarizing, specifically like Axel, but I think it's manageable on both sides. It might be more evenish, but I feel like there's only so much he can't handle. And I feel like once he gets started, then it doesn't matter anymore about how difficult the matchup is, right? Because once he gets some kind of knockdown and he gets in your face, like, he's just going to start playing the game, and then it can be very damaging for you if you make a mistake. Because his damage output's high. How do you feel about Nago's balance in this game? I think Nago's right where he should be. Like, if he was to make it to where he could use more of the blood gauge and not the way it is now, like the way it was on like Open Beta 1, it'd be going way too ham. It would defeat the purpose of the command grab. Like, why you even need the command grab? The only thing I would probably take away from him is lower the damage on the command grab. Otherwise, there's not much to even touch him for. Like, and the reason why I say, what's up, Ricky? The only reason why I say take the damage, scale the damage down from the command grab is because of the reward. The reward is having the ability to special cancel, special cancel, special cancel, right? So I feel like if you're gonna give him that ability, then like lower the damage output, because his reward is already high for what he gets post command grab. Does that make sense? So like, let's say his command grab is doing like 90 damage, it should do like 45 or something. You know, because the command grab already has a lot of range, and it's like, it works really well. That the range on the box on the grab is really good. So yeah, Nago at the wall is pretty toxic. And no, I don't think Goldlewis is bad per se, but I have words for him. But give me a second. It's still early, but I'll give impressions. Back to Nago, like, I just feel like he has a good whiff punishing tool with 214H, which is very hard to jump. His normals are really good, especially 2S. 2S, 5K, far slash, all good normals. 5P good for, you know, checking people. He has a great super. Like, he has everything he needs to win. He just lacks the mobility, but like, you have to use your mobility properly. And not to mention, he's always chipping you out with his normals. So like, he's kind of sort of in a good spot. Like, you could even maybe reduce the amount of chip damage it does. Not by a whole lot, maybe like 2%. Just so like stay alive a little bit longer in some cases. Because his buttons are really good when he gets level 2 blood gauge. Like, level 2 Nagoriyuki is not something to scoff at. Like, the character is strong. And not to mention the blue RC Oki stuff he's got. That stuff is really good, man. Character's got mad good options. He does not need meter. He uses meter for other reasons. So, Attack of the Clones, baby. Star Wars, Attack of the Clones. That's what it is, dude. Yeah, I think he's strong. One, like, yeah, it's chip damage. Yeah. But, moving forward, Giovanna, she's like Makoto from Street Fighter 3. Or Street Fighter 4, if you will. It's like, if you can play, like, she's like a striker, you know? With some really interesting gameplay. It's kind of like, she's essentially Cammy. She's Cammy and Makoto in one character, in my opinion. But that's not a bad thing, right? She has good options up close. She just has a tough time getting in. But when she gets in, you know, much like Soul and Mei, she has a dash cancel that's +3. 5K is also dash cancelable, just like Mei. You know, so she could play the frame trap game with that, and her dash is so quick, she can blow you up. You know, because her dash to grab may as well be a kabang grab, right? But then she can always, you know, dash forward, back dash, and watch you whiff your throw, and then she's like, oh yeah, it's time to die. You know, she's gonna get like a button counter hit into like shenanigans. And it's gonna hurt. She's a really simple and effective character. You know, she has a really good strike throw game. Good normals. Lacks a projectile, but like whatever. I would say her only major weakness to me is her air dash. And overall, by that I mean her jump. Her jump is kind of poop. But like, it works for what she's got. You know, her air dive kick super is really strong too, so. I think Gio and Ram should switch? Nah. I think Giovanna is a lot more effective in the grand scheme of things. I'll get into why. But Axel, I'll meme for a second and say I think he's one of the laziest characters you could play. but while I'm memeing about that, like, you have to have good defense and good neutral, you know, because without that you can't really play him too effectively. And I think his matchup spread this time around is actually pretty good. I think he has a lot more even matchups than he does have bad matchups in this game. Like, to be honest. but like, he's good in this game. Plus anti-air strong, 6P. He has a lot of good normals. His pressure is pretty good for what it is. Like, I do think he has some matchups that can be tough. Obviously, he's a speedsters. I think Kai's a pretty annoying one for him because RTL punishes a lot on block, which can wall break. Nah. I'm talking about high level Geo. I'm not talking about Geo at like floor 2 or some shit. That's not. But as you get better with that character, no one's gonna let you get in for free. Makoto doesn't even get in for free either. They press buttons on her dash. It's the same with Geo. The difference is Geo can attack out of her dash where Makoto can't, so it's harder to punish Geo dashing. But yeah, coming back to Axel, like I said, there's a lot of good ways to do damage. He doesn't really need meter for much. He can use meter to erase mistakes. He doesn't really need meter for that much. Yeah, her strike throw game is crazy good. I mean, he's just solid. Solid. He's like the only other defensive character / zoner in the game that gets as good rewards. Moving on, we got Leo. Leo, I do think he's A. I don't think he's, some people think he's top 5. I don't think he's top 5. I think he's a great character, just not top 5. His normals are really good, his pressure is really good. Brian Hilder's stance is strong, which is why they made it harder for him to get into Brian Hilder's stance, because they made Brian Hilder really good. Especially with the ability to cancel 5H in Brian Hilder, that's pretty crazy if you ask me. So, moving on, his damage output's good, his pressure is good, like, he can vortex anybody and kill them. You know, but he turns into a regular speedster whenever he's in Brian Hilder's stance, as in, like, the damage from back turn stance is not that high. His goal is to keep it up to make sure you die, right? But I get it. If he does it against the wall, it's gonna hurt, obviously, because he'll tack on a super behind it, so of course it's gonna hurt. But like overall, Brynhildr back turn stance, like Brynhildr stance doesn't do that much damage as a whole. Like things have to add up. And the thing is, things add up quickly, right? Cause like if you watch any of the high level Leos right now, and when they get into Brynhildr stance, they're not killing people fast. They're just kind of like, oh, dash dash, you know, normal, dash 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 normal, dash 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 normal, side spot, blah 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 blah, right? Not to mention, people are risk rewarding too hard, and I feel like, as odd as this may sound for some people who think he's top 5, I feel like if you're playing a character in a fashion that's heavy on risk reward versus safety, no. People are risk rewarding really hard with this flash kick, and they're not like taking into consideration that just because you have a flash kick and down up, this is my creed, right? Down up knows no cross up, aka flash kicks don't get crossed, right? They always autocorrect. It doesn't mean that you have to spam it, right? They feel like because it's a flash kick, we're just gonna sit here and read on it. Like, I feel like you shouldn't be making super hard reads with a character like this, because the counter hit damage is too high in this game. You should not be trying to risk reward all day long. Like, you're not Soul. Soul risk rewards, but it's safe. Mei can risk reward, but it's safe. Chipp can risk reward. It's fairly safe. Nagoriyuki can risk reward. Fairly safe. Giovanna can risk reward. Fairly safe. This fool, there's nothing safe about whiffing a DP, right? And if it does a HDP, you have all day, and you have all day to see that and just punish it. And so, like, I know you could play him solid, don't get me wrong, but right now the way he's being played is heavy risk reward. Like, they're trying to play too read heavy when you don't have to in this game, you know. And as long as you don't crack under pressure against him, it's not nearly as bad. I feel like he's really solid, but like people tend to crack because they're afraid of Brynhildr stance. Yeah, it's just multiple counter hit stacking, guard break pressure, and just getting tapped there. Yeah, exactly. But other than that, I think he's good. I think he's one of the more overrated characters personally. Doesn't mean he's bad. I just think people like put him higher than where he could be. Like, the problem with him, in my opinion, is consistency. Like, until people actually try to play him in a fashion that's more consistent, then I'll change my mind. But right now, and even then I wouldn't. There's no way that character's S tier. I'm sorry, no way. People put him that high, don't know how to play against him. I would agree. A lot of fighting Leo is just keeping him out, and most people, they want to go in. Like, you're playing into the character. Like, in some ways, I still don't. It's almost as if I should even. I even mentioned before, I don't really think he's an A tier character personally. Like, I actually don't believe he's an A tier character. Like, maybe I'm doing it here for the culture. Maybe I should just be honest with myself and just say I just don't think so, actually. I still think it's too much risk reward. But, like I said, it's another one of those characters that kind of sort of fluctuate. Because, like, it's like Millia, right? Like, you can look really badass when all the Brynhildr stuff connects, right? But then you can also look really shitty when no one lets you get in. Right? That's why, like, people who play him complain about fighting Axel. Like, you can't get in. You complain about fighting Rant because they don't let you in. Maybe even Kai to some extent, because these characters don't let him play. So it's like, and I feel like, you know, like I said, Axel, Kai, Ram, these characters don't let him play. That's just me. But I still think she leads the pack in this regard. Alright, but that's Leo, right? I'm gonna leave him in B+. Ram, so I feel like people made a big deal about Ram in the beginning, and I kind of felt like it wasn't really much to make a big deal about after playing it as much as I have. And to me, like, she's strong. I just don't think she's as good as these characters here, because she has to be in the corner. I feel like the corner is the only real, like, position for her to really be scary. I just don't think that she's as good as anyone above her. Her neutral doesn't lead to major damage like these other characters. She's got decent neutral, she's got good footsies, but it doesn't lead to anything without any meter. And I feel like when she has meters, when she becomes more threatening, but if you corner her, she can't play. Her reversal is her super, and she has some defensive options that are universal, not to mention her super. So universal being like YRC, blue RC to kind of get away from certain things, backdash jump. She has all those like general things that's in the game, plus the super, but like, it's not like, you know, I feel like I don't ever get Ram with meter. But that's probably because I play Chipp. But even when I watch other matchups, I see a lot of the same. Like, they just don't let her play. Like, I watch Axel do it, don't let her play. I watch Nagoriyuki do it. I think it's kind of hard for Nago, but like, if you get started, she can't play either. I don't know. I feel like if you're constantly pressing far slash, heavy slash, like, you're not going to get... Like, on paper, it seems like you're always going to have bar because you're pressing big buttons. And they connect, but like, if people avoid those buttons, you're just getting whiff punished and you're not making any meter. You're not gaining any meter. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, she's polarizing when she's in her best position. But I feel like if you're playing neutral against her, or if she gets cornered, like, it's polarizing for her because she doesn't have anything else. And I feel like the super is kind of like the biggest thing that she has. So I feel like once you get past the super, it's kind of like if Rams were using meter to try to extend their combos or extend pressure, it's like you don't have to worry about the super anymore. So just block it out. And I keep saying it, without the command grab, I don't think that I think that she has good strike throw, but like, I feel like I'm okay to take her throws. If that makes sense. She's also doing the scramble stuff in the air too, so it's like, I know not everyone's Chipp and they can't like challenge her in the air like Chipp and or Millia can, but I feel like literally once you corner her, I feel like it can be very difficult for Ram to get out. Yeah, I mean, her damage is good. I think her damage is great, but I feel like she also has to give up. She'll have to give up something, right? She'll have to give up a sword, and she gets a mediocre normal without the sword. So like that's kind of big too. Like, you don't want to be giving up swords, right? And some Ram players I've seen, they're just throwing out swords in like close to mid-screen, close to corner, and I understand why, because they're trying to check the sweet spot. Which is another thing I want to mention. She has a sweet spot for her sword to hit, right? So far slash heavy slash sword set, and then it's like, is it close to corner? No, bam, no sword explosion, no wall bounce. So you don't get the confirm. You just the sword, and you're stuck with just far slash, which is not bad, but like, you have to go back and retrieve the sword, or you have to wait for it to come back. So like, I feel like as long as she has that as like part of her playstyle, I think it's too hard to maintain against characters who don't care about that. Moving forward, Kai, I think he's mad good. There's not much to say about him. To me, he's just solid as hell. I feel like he could fight just about everything in the game for the most part. People just talk to... There are some things I think he could be kind of readjusted on, but I think he can mostly fight everything. I haven't seen anything that he cannot truly just like handle. Like, I've seen a lot of match videos with him doing pretty well. So, good normals, good damage. RTL takes to the corner and wall breaks from mid-screen. Like, Ride the Lightning is huge. Sacred Edge is also sleeper, but both his supers are really good. His normals are good. Dragon Install is still kind of a bill right now, but it could end up being good down the line. Not sure how or when or why. Maybe it's just a meme. Maybe it's just gonna stay a meme. I don't know. But I feel like he does become a better character because of it. It's just the requirement for it kind of sucks. Otherwise, I think he's pretty solid. Zato's like a weird one for me, because like, I see where he's good, but then I feel like there's some characters that just completely just steamroll him. And like, even though he can fight a lot of things, I feel like Chipp, Millia, Ram to some degree, Nagoriyuki, like a lot of these characters, if they just get next to him, all that neutral play just gets washed. And it's not to say that there aren't good Zato players, for sure. There are definitely good Zato players, but I just feel like his neutral play, it has to be good, because when you lose Eddie, you have to like fly away and wait till you get like your stuff back, and then you can play. Sandwich pressure is a little overrated, but I feel like what really makes him shine to me is the corner pressure and the neutral, because Frog is so good. I had him at top 3 at one point, but I think he's gonna eventually move up to A, but I feel like right now, I feel like all these characters give him a hard time. It ain't that he can't fight them evenly or anything like that, but I think it's very difficult for him to fight them evenly because of their advantages over what he has. If any of these characters get next to him, he just starts to lose. Because his normals, the way the hurtbox to hitbox ratios work in this game, 2S's hurtbox comes out before the hitbox drastically. So all these characters can actually counterpoke that move before it could even get it started. His supers are kind of mediocre, except for Executioner, because if you set it up properly, you can keep the sandwich stuff going on. But like, if no one lets you play that, I don't know. Yeah, the ability to summon Eddie with supers makes him good. I just feel like you have to work mad hard to get him to be that good. And like the only character in this region right here in the A's that has something that they have to work with is Nagoriyuki. Yeah, it's like on one front Zato can be A, on another front he's B. Because like I don't think he wins any of these matchups above him. Anyone in the A, Chipp and Millia eat him alive. When Geo gets started, he gets ate up. I think Axel don't even gotta think about it. Just 5P. 5P, 2H, Renson. Or you want to summon from full screen, or you want to do a pose. I guess it's a shame I have a full screen command grab. It's like, I think the only issue with him is I think why people would probably even rate him higher is because of a pose. To me, a pose is the one thing that makes Zato worth like even picking. But I think the issue is like, a pose is really strong, but like, if people don't fight you, a pose means nothing. Yeah, 6 frame normals are pretty bad for him too. He gets frame trapped pretty easily. Him getting frame trapped pretty easily is also a problem. We're not even gonna cap on that. Like, I like the character myself personally. I'd like to play him. But I know that some of these matchups are just mad polar. Like, dude, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I understand you can keep Leo out, right? But Leo has arguably the best fireball in the game, next to, in my honest opinion, Axel with Renson, right? Honorable mention goes to Potemkin with Flick because Kai honestly has the weakest fireball right now. But Leo does H fireball and he does frog. It's like, all right, whatever, dude. And then he gets to get in, and then he just starts just completely mauling Zato because he has no DP. And he has a 6 frame, like down, like a mashable 6 frame normal that gets easily frame trapped. No. Like every character when they knock him down, he's just gonna get boned. But on the trade-off is if he gets pressure started, he can blow you up. So that's the reason why like it's such a like it can be very polarizing for him, right? May Beach Ball a bit. I mean, May Beach Ball better than Kai Fireball. I'm not even gonna start. So yeah, I won't get into the weaker fireballs. Just bottom line, yeah, I think I just he could be here, but I think most likely right now he's gonna stay here for now until like a patch happens, and we'll see. But I feel like right now, even with the way people are playing him, and they're playing him very, very well, I just don't think that I don't know why people get butthurt about like them being in B+. This doesn't mean that they're bad. Like, they're good characters. Anyway, moving on. It's a good character. Potemkin, yeah, it's all Garuda Impact. Garuda Impact is too strong. Kara Buster's mad good. Like, he has a lot of good. I feel like Pot's in the perfect position. I don't feel like they need to do anything with him. Like, they nerfed him and readjusted him to what I think he should be. And I feel like he can outplay most things, even though he might have some polarizing matchups in some cases. But I feel like he can fight most of everything in the game, mostly. Like, it sucks he can still get one touch by soul, but I feel like most characters can fight him and he can fight them. Garuda Impact makes it so you can fight everybody. So yeah, it's just his whole kit, man. Mega Fist, Hammerfall Break, which is slow but it's still okay. Heat Knuckle giving you plus frames. That thing goes active pretty quickly. Like, he always has access to wall break with Heat Knuckle and stuff like that. He has Aegis Reflector to walk you down to the corner if he wants to. Or Gigantor. You know, and Gigantor's a decent reversal when used properly. Like, he's got a lot of good options. Having a Potemkin Buster if you're terrible in the air. And then that joint does mad damage. Two or three pop busters, you could lose a round. Lickety split. Like, I feel like he has enough to compete. His footsies are bad good this game. So, and then close slash is +4. Like, bruh. Close slash +4, and then Kara Pop Buster. Scary, dog. The fact that he can do counter hit Garuda into Pop Buster as an actual combo, like, bruh. That's like too much damage on every character in the game. you know. So I feel like he's scary enough when he gets next to people. I feel like any major buff to him could be too scary, especially when they made his sweep special cancelable in this game. I used to be against it in Xrd, and then at some point I was like, he kind of needs it, and now he has it in this game as a consistent thing. It's like, man, that's kind of scary when you think about it, because the sweep never used to be special cancelable up until like plus R, and they took away the special cancel in Xrd, if I recall right, and they gave it back to him in this game. So it's like, damn, sweep, Hammerfall break, he's right next to you. It's like, damn, dog, he really about to hit Garuda again, isn't he? You know, he really about to do Garuda one more time. Hammerfall break recovery. I mean, even if they speed that up, I think the reason why they don't speed it up is because of the way the tech roll system is. If it was faster, he would just get sweeps and spam Garuda. It'd be too easy. That'd be the dumbest shit they could do. Garuda already doesn't have a hurt box, right? It's all hitbox. So if you don't have a DP to challenge it and clash intentionally to try to escape, you can't do anything. But it would be blah blah blah. It'd be like kick. It'd be like close slash sweep, Hammerfall break, Garuda, rinse lather repeat, 2K 2D, Garuda. People are already doing that now. So imagine having faster recovery on that. That'd be too easy to spam. That would literally be the entire character. Nah. But regardless, I respect it. I think he's fine. I feel like he doesn't need too many major buffs. If they were to buff him, it should be something very incremental, nothing too drastic, because he's in a good spot, in my opinion. Not because my character is well against him or anything like that, but because he has Garuda, and Garuda into Kara, like he's at Kara. Listen, Kara command grab is huge for how far that goes. Kara Mega Fist is pretty insane too. Those are all good things. He's fine. Yeah, but I mean, you can both cancel the FD, right? If you clash cancel DP on Garuda into FD, then you're both at neutral, and it's safe, right? You're not trying to do anything, so it's okay. But yeah, Potemkin to me is fine. Anyway, moving on. Anji, I feel like, as I said before, I feel like he's moved up a little bit in my eyes. I've seen a lot of people playing really well, and I think like he's got some pretty interesting things going for him right now. Damage output's pretty high. He can build meter okay. It just sucks that he doesn't get far slash in the Fujin. He is kind of like the one unsafe character, but I feel like you kind of just have to play him that way. You have to accept that you're gonna probably get punished, and you have a lot of HP, and you have 5 out of 5 guts, so it's okay. It's actually okay. That's what I think. Good damage, good buttons across the board. I don't think his buttons are bad at all. I think the only hard part for him is he can't always get into what he needs to. Like if he could do kick slash sweep into butterfly, that'd be perfect. Or even kick slash sweep Fujin into Nagiha and then butterfly, that'd be nice too. But then, because Nagiha, like, it's okay. I don't know, I feel like his Oki is kind of like where he shines, but he's not too busted or anything like that with anything that he does. His counter super is a bill. Like it's good, but it's bad. So many things bait it, and it can hit very awkwardly, but when it hits stuff properly, like it does massive amounts of damage and auto wall breaks. Like, I feel like he's got good supers. I feel like he has mostly good things. It's just he's unsafe. Like, I feel like the only major buff he would need is maybe make Fujin travel a little bit further to hit at tip range with Far Slash. Into Far Slash Fujin Nagiha, and make Nagiha like -3 or some shit. Maybe a -4. Just so that he can't press afterwards, right? But like he's still safe negative, not punishable negative. There's ranges you can make Nagiha safe, but I feel like I think it's a little too much for how unsafe he is. You have to manage. You'd have to micromanage your spacing, which is okay. But I think that him having at least one other option other than the fan toss, which isn't safe either. Like you can challenge it. But I think if Nagiha was at least safe, like negative safe, it'd be okay. I think that's kind of all he would need. They could probably buff the counter super a little bit too, because there are some things that kind of suck that it doesn't beat that it should. But otherwise, I think he's like a good buff away from being like really good. But I don't think he's like down here. I mean, this character's been gambling for years in all the games. It's just he was safer.
But moving on. Alright, so I'll talk about Faust. I think Faust is...
People are figuring out stuff about him, but I still think right now his kit is just inherently just kind of weak. Like, he needs maybe like one more special move or something. It's kind of hard to say like what exactly Faust needs, but he needs something. I feel like the addition to Afro was good. Like, the fro was nice, but like, I guess to me that's not enough. Yeah, he doesn't have a wall break super, so I think that's another, that is huge. And not having a wall break super kind of sucks. I feel like his neutral is okay. And I know why they're not doing what they're doing with the items, because Rev 2, his items were really jacked up. The problem is he's playing the way he used to play. The problem is the items don't 100% make it so he can play the game the way he probably needs to. So, I don't know. I think Far Slash is okay. I think his ability to throw out more than one item is good. He has decent normals. It's just stuff just doesn't seem to like always work the way it should for him, I feel. Yeah, Faust is pretty on the low end of things, but I still think he's like dead center. Trumpet is like the best worst thing. It's like it gives him a lot, but then if the opponent gets it, it's like, damn. I think what they could do is maybe instead of Trumpet flying further towards the opponent, I think it should go towards the middle. Like, they should find a middle ground for it. But I guess at the same time, like I guess this way, so it can make it so if the opponent tries to run in on him, if he decided to throw item, the item could end up maybe being behind them, and maybe he could play around that or something. But right now it goes behind the enemy, so they just walk backwards and just get it, which I think is kind of bad. So Meteor is still pretty okay. Bomb is okay. Maybe one more item. His kit, it's like, his kit per se isn't bad. It's just, it's not cohesive. Like, and that's kind of the issue with the characters down here, right? Some of the kit isn't fully cohesive. But I'll get into that in a minute. Like, oh, it's kind of tough for him, man. I think Black Hole wouldn't hurt. I don't think that would hurt. Because right now his items, they don't, I feel like they're too counterintuitive for Faust. Right? Like they don't complement Faust. They complement what happens in the match. They don't complement Faust. Like, does that make sense? Like, oh, Meteor, I guess I'll just chill. Oh, you threw out bomb? I can challenge it now. Before, the bomb just stayed in place. Now you can challenge it and throw it back at him. So everything is counterintuitive for him. Like, that's what sucks. Which is not good for him. So I feel like maybe Black Hole would help him get something. And I think that would kind of help Mix. To make it somewhat safe, I guess. And then he would have those unique Black Hole combos like he had in Xrd. But I feel like Mini Faust is okay, but I think he might need like Mini Potemkin or something. He needs something else. He needs like one more. Like, it was kind of cool when he had like Mini Faust, Mini Potemkin, and like Mini Robokai and like older Guilty Gear, but I think he needs at least one more like drone to walk around. Black Hole will be potent because he has no item limit now. True. Mini Garuda Impact. Yeah, just give him something. I feel like if he had something like that, that would help him, because I think Scalpel Pull is trash in this game. That move is so bad. I feel like it'd be kind of cool if he got something like that, like Mini Potemkin cause like a small guard break. You need to hit the missiles? Look, man. That's Meteors. He's good. That's Meteor. Or maybe like, you know what would probably help out? This is a far-fetched thing, but like, I think if his items were more like Teddy, you could plan out what the hell you want to do. I think that would kind of help him. I think that would help Faust players. Because if he had an item counter that would tell you what's coming next, like the current item and what's coming next, like, that'd be good. This way you can see it. This way you can actually see like what you're getting and you can plan around it. instead of just tossing up items randomly to see if you get the right one, you know? I like the idea that you can hit like hammer and stuff like that at people, but like it's not enough. No, it's more like Teddy had that in Persona, if I recall right. But yeah, I mean, moving on. Yeah, I don't know. There's many ways you could buff Faust, but like, I have to say honestly, I feel bad for Faust players, but at the same time, yo, God forbid that character suck one game. This is the first, like, they surprised the shit out of me with Faust in this game. I was like, they really, like, made him not that good. I'm shocked. It's probably because Pachi's not on it. So, that's kind of a interesting point, as far as I'm concerned. Because normally, Faust is always good. But yeah, I feel it. I know a lot of people feel some type of way about Faust. Like, if you play older Guilty Gears, Faust is kind of annoying. So, Eno. So, let me go ahead and preface it with this here, alright? I need you guys to understand something. Before anyone says anything about Daru, Daru is amazing. This character is not. Period. So before you start talking to me in the stream chat about Daru, look, Daru is a badass player. Period. That dude's sick. But this character has issues. Like, this character has issues. A lot of polarizing matchups in this game. Right? But if you were to put Daru on any other character, he'd be ridiculous. Okay? Alright? So moving forward though, like, Eno has good Oki. It's consistent. It's just you have to get there. Right? That's what everyone wants to set. Like, they wanted to knock you down, do bunny hops, and do all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, I got you. But the truth of the matter is, ain't no one gonna let you do that for free. Nobody. Nobody. No one in this roster is gonna let you do that for free. Right? It doesn't mean she doesn't have some okay matchups or anything like that, but generally speaking, since this game's buttons, like, a lot of buttons are pretty big, and it kind of messes with her hover dash. Her hover dash isn't airborne until like frame 3 or something like that. That's tough. Like, it's tough. Like, not being airborne, like, immediately, that's kind of bad. You know, like, she can get hit and still be considered grounded. You know, not to mention a lot of people have pretty good 5Ps in this game. A lot of good mid-high, like, quick normals that can contest her air dash. Like, her hover dash is kind of weak in this game. It does what it's supposed to do, for sure. And it's faster than what it was in Open Beta 2. But it's still not... It's still not effective, I feel. Like... I'm not gonna say, like I said before, I'm not gonna say if she doesn't get... Like, if she gets next to you, she can definitely mess you up. But, she has to get there. I think that's the hard part, right? Like, in every character in this game, they have big buttons, they have good neutral for the most part. And they make it hard for her to do what she wants to do. Not to mention, note PRC is pretty... That's pretty sus. Get the PRC it right, otherwise the projectile doesn't come out. It's kind of poop. And I feel like they did that because they didn't want to have something from Xrd where, like, things came out instantly into YRC. So... yeah. I feel like horizontal chemical love knocking away is a problem. You just... This whole character is predicated on using stroke. Stroke the big tree. Stroke the big tree. Big tree. Stroke the big tree some more. And that's kind of sort of how you have to play. I'm not saying it's a bad way to play, but it feels like it turns into something that's too obvious, I guess. So... she can still fight things. She still has a great 6P. She has a good 2K, good 2D. Her buttons are a little stubby in some places. I think her far slash is pretty decent in this game. Does pretty good against Chipp, actually. But it's just almost every character in the game that has a run can run underneath HCL, which is really bad. Like, that's so poop, Doug. The fact that half the cast can just run underneath HCL is just really bad. Like, and then she's in counter hit state too. So it's like, it's gonna be a free burst bait at that point. Players forced to take a combo unless they want to get out, and if the person knows it, and if at the highest level, people they're gonna know you're gonna want to burst. It's a counter hit starter. You don't want to deal with that. If you have your burst, it's gonna go away. Then they're gonna bait it, and it's gonna die for it. It's like, damn. All that because I decided to like play neutral and use my neutral projectile option to halt your approach. Get boned for it. Yes, lows beat stroke, throw beat stroke. Lows have always beaten stroke the big tree. And throws are 2 frames, so if you can react in time, you can throw them. I've seen some high level players throw stroke pretty consistently. Don't worry, I'm gonna put a question mark for Lewis. I haven't gotten to him yet, but yes.
How you doing? Never forget about that, 'cause that's all we got.
But people want to know where I would put him. But yeah, I just think Eno's just too much of a struggle. That's what I think. I think Eno's way too much of a struggle. What's up, Ace? Alright. And then, obviously, I had Goldlewis in B. But, if I'm to be honest, he's kind of an anomaly right now to me. Like, there's so many characters who I think just dog walk him. And it's pretty bad. Like, I'm not sure if he has a favorable matchup in this roster right now. It's still early. Like, he just dropped. So I'm not going to sit here and say, like, hey, all his matchups are bad. But, you know, the character's got so many bad matchups already, man. Like, I played him myself, man. I played against Axel. That matchup sucks. I played against Zato. That shit sucks. Faust. I haven't played it, but I think it's pretty awful. If I had to guess. Bomb bag plus items, like, I mean, he could throw Gatling gun, but then you just stay in there with bomb bag. Yeah, Axel versus Goldlewis was, yeah, that's every button's anti-air. 5P rocks him, 2P rocks him, 2H rocks him, 5 slash rocks him, 5H rocks. Every button on the stick rocks this character. Oh, by the way, did you want to do Gatling gun? Jump slash. Did you want to drop drone? Jump slash. You want to drop drone? Full screen command grab. Oh, by the way, 2H, Rensengeki, bomb. By the way, 5-frame jump startup. Ugh. I think I would, on paper, in my head, actually in my head, I thought he would do well against Nagoriyuki. I should probably still play, or try to play it a little bit against a homie to see if I want to double check those suspicions. But like, I just feel like this man's like, yeah, dude, yeah, you dudes, bro, you can't even put the drone out. Like, you can't even drone. My man be like, Thunderbird, full screen. Like, you can't play. I don't know. I thought in my head that Nagoriyuki versus Goldlewis would probably be okay. I thought him versus Potemkin would be okay, but I actually played the Potemkin one. That, I don't know what you're supposed to do in that matchup. I actually do not know what you're supposed to do in that matchup as Goldlewis. Like, Kara Potbuster, not Kara Potbuster, Kara Megafist. Kara Megafist beats drone and Gatling gun. I think level 3 Gatling gun is a bill. I think level 2 Gatling gun is godlike. I think level 3 is only good for chip out. But like trying to use it in neutral against characters that have options against it. Oh, Seth, you're playing gold right now? Yeah. I feel it. That's going over far slash? Bro. Listen, stream fam. Potemkin Kara Megafist has never been so godlike. I've never felt so oppressed by Potemkin. Holy poop, man. Holy poop. Like, 3/4 screen, Pot can Kara cancel Mega Fist, and pop drone and Gatling gun. Like, you can't even play. Like, I thought that drone would be like the neutral in most of his matchups, and it kind of sort of is, but like mad characters just see drone and just double jump, so it's like, all right, Behemoth Typhoon, cool, I'll just focus on Typhoon. And don't get me wrong, I think drone should be used in mad matchups, but like, man, against Zato, drone, Zato be like, oh yeah, that's how you feel? Hey Eddie, we gotta take a flight right quick. You down? Yeah, man, let's get it. And you just fly and you sit there menacingly like, what's up? What's up? Is the drone gone yet? Yeah? Alright, cool, let's get it, Eddie. Like, that's just so ass, bro. And like, he can't deal with Frog. He can't deal with Frog. Like, what is he supposed to do about Frog? Gatling gun? Maybe drone? Like, invite hell at certain ranges is too strong. Not to mention he can drop oppose. Right? He can legitimately, if you do Gatling gun, he can drop oppose and do Amorphous. And you don't even gotta do Amorphous, just do freaking, I think, yeah, you can do Amorphous, because you need to block out the, what's it called? You have to block out the bullets. So he has to deal with the Amorphous. It's like, bruh. Really? I mean, sure, every character can 6P Frog. But like, you can't jump. It's just he can't leave the ground. Like, if Goldlewis wants to leave the ground,
Come on. What's up, fam?
all
How you doing?
like Zato can stay in range of invite hell and force him to jump, and then have to guess. He has to guess between. Imagine you having to guess between invite hell and Frog. Now, granted, you could just walk and block invite hell, and that's exactly what he wants you to do, because then you get pushed back, and then he's like, all right, now I'm gonna do like K summon, and I'll do drills, and then I'll do Frog, and then I'll do unsummon, and then resummon, and then Frog again. It's like, you can't play. Like, it's very difficult. It's just very difficult, bro. I tried, man. I was like, the archives are here, man. It's stuff's really difficult to deal with. I think the only matchup one of the only other matchups he might have that might be kind of even is Kai, and even then I think Kai is probably not even either. Yeah. He can't reflect drone, but he can reflect the Gatling gun. Well, not reflect, but I mean, you're just gonna use a pose on it, is what I'm trying to say. Like, that's my thing. So I feel like, I don't know, man, his matchups that are polarizing seem really bad. Axel seems bad, Zato's definitely bad, Ram is bad. I wouldn't be surprised if Leo's bad. Faust probably bad. Potemkin is definitely. Potemkin is. It seems like you would do so well in that matchup, but Kara Mega Fist just does. I can't even imagine how. Like. Just Kara Mega Fist is so much work. That's all I can say. Kara Mega Fist is too strong. Too strong. Way too strong. Yeah. I feel like all the speedster characters, if they get in on him, is trouble. He has a good reversal super, but like, you need 50 for that. If you get mauled before you get 50, I feel like most people are gonna get positive bonus before he does. I think the best part about Goldlewis is the fact that he has disjoints on Typhoon. But I feel like at the same time, while that's cool and all, like, if you're whiffing Typhoons, people are just gonna whiff punish you and not care. Which is why I feel like if you just want to make that character just completely eat shit, just pick Axel. Bad matchup, I think. I don't think it's gonna stay this way. There will be some tech for him to fight the character, but I feel like Axel don't need no tech to beat that kind of character. Excuse me. I think Anji does work against him too. Drone, spin, or just Ko. I think this is too late for this, but I think his 5H is kind of a bill. Like, it's a good move, but it's a bad move at the same time. Like, it's a bill because, like, it ain't got no range. It's okay because it's actually a decent anti-air, believe it or not. Because it's all hitbox in front of him with the coffin. But it's like, that should be like a command normal, and like his 6H should be like his 5H or something. I did not, Seth. That sounds amazing. That sounds dope. I think everyone said the same thing, right? He has no armor moves. Like, what the hell? Like, why ain't got no armor? I think maybe one of the behemoths should have armor, or something should have armor. I think most people would probably say a behemoth typhoon should have. One of them should have armor at the very least. Not the overhead or the low options, but like the general pressure ones would be all right. Like, at the very least. Like, at least one armor move to kind of help him. But then again, I guess at the same point, like, people wouldn't try to press on him because they know it has armor. I don't know. It's hard. Oh my god. He really beating this man barefoot. He really washing this man while being barefoot. He's really trying to say this matchup is that free. I knew it. This match is that free. Bro, imagine getting washed with someone playing on their feet. Oh, look, he got a drone out. Wow. Man, such scary. Remember when I said Axel's easy to play? My man's doing this shit with his feet. I might try this. I actually might try this. I think I might try this. That's crazy. Like, my dude, he can't play, bro. That's terrible. But this just kind of goes to show, like, you know, what we're aiming at here. Axel requires, though. Nah, I'm not sure if I could do it with Chipp. I'll try it with Axel, though. Yeah, that's XYZZY that plays Street Fighter. Yeah. Now, that's just it, y'all. I think Goldlewis is tight. Like, I actually like that character. That character is a whole Texan, okay? I really like Goldlewis. But, like, I feel like at the same time, it's like, why would I put myself through purgatory trying to run this man? Like, way too hard to be doing this, man. Like, not trying to do this. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just... Oops. You know what I mean? Like... I don't know, man. Like... Like, really, dog? Like, how do you... Oops, sorry about that. I just don't know what you're supposed to do, man. I feel like he's so cool, man. Like, I like that character. Like, as someone who's from Texas, like, everything about him is cool. It's just, damn it, dog. Like, what are you supposed to do in these matchups? Like, people are gonna grind it out and they're gonna figure it out for sure. But, like, I don't know, dog. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what you're supposed to do. Chipp and Millia are gonna run over him. Soul runs over him. May felt kinda like it could be even. but I could be wrong, man. It's like, and you know what else about Goldlewis that gets me? That this shit pisses me off, but it's like, man. And me and Ray Play were talking about this just last night. Alright? Bro. His stand slash is literally Birdie stand slash from Street Fighter, right? But it's like, dog, this button is so good that it's so bad. It has great reach, but then the box doesn't hit underneath and doesn't hit certain things. So like people be like mashing like awkward ass buttons underneath him, and it's like, bruh, I press far slash, you should be getting popped. Like, it looks like such a good normal. I feel like if they extend the hitbox a little bit lower, like he would have an even better freaking far slash. And I'm like, bro, why does this like weird moves low profile that button? Like really, it does. And I'm like, is anyone labbing this shit out, dog? I'm like, yeah, man, yo, his stand slash was mad good. It's mad. Oh wait, he hit 2K and it went underneath it, and I'm whiffing. Well, like making this dolphin 90 times in a row and Goldlewis kind of has to eat it. Now, I'm cool with 5P whiffs. Like, 5P whiffing crouchers is kind of okay. Understandable, it's reasonable. His down jab's kind of a decent anti-air too, but it's like, bruh.
Never forget about that, because that's all we got.
His best poke button doesn't even hit in the right spots. So it's like, ugh. Behemoth Typhoon. Oh, wait, whoops. Looks like the button missed. I buffered Behemoth, but my button whiffed you. So I don't think I'll be hitting you with this button right about now. I guess I'll PRC and go backwards and go back in the fetal position in the corner and just hope to God I can get back in after this. Or I'll take my chances and PRC forward and try to do, and then you get thrown. Or they don't care and they mash you out because your buttons are too slow. Like, I know it was sustaining Geo. It's sad. It's like I said, I don't know what I don't know what he beats in this game. I don't know if he has like any favorable matchups. It's hard to say. It's still early, right? But like, I went on a podcast and I said I thought it was pretty low. I know it's still early, but like my first impressions after playing him was like, all right, I got these cool setups with the drone, and then people just fly or they jump out, they double jump. Or all right, set up with the drone, it's a combo, have the last hit of the drone hit people when they fucking get up. Nope. It's like, bruh. It's like, it's crazy because funny enough, his air-to-air game is actually pretty good. Jump slash is amazing, actually. Jump slash is really, really good. Jump slash and jump D are mad good buttons. Jump K is a good button. Jump P is kind of eh. JH is a freaking good. It's a pretty good cross-up, but it's like, man, like some of his normals, like, what are you? It's like, what the hell are you supposed to do with this? What does he need to be more viable? He needs armor on something. They can give him armor on 5H. That wouldn't be too bad. At least you can still throw the button, right? Like, they can give him armor on 5H and then something else. Maybe. I don't think that'd be too strong. But at least, like, if you see it, like, it's a button that you would frame trap with, right? If you got used to, like, God forbid this character ever get next to you and hit close slash, but just give him armor on like one normal and maybe 6H. I don't know. But that motherfucker needs something. Well, they gave him one jump so you could get the 720 or the 1080. If he had a double jump, he'd be double jumping into this, right? So they let you at least have the ability to be random with it if you want. That's why he has one jump. Man, when you play Arxis games for years, you understand their fucking design philosophies. And then you question some of the other ones, like Nagoriyuki having Gamma Blade and Chipp having the exact same normal, except for the same move, but Nagos is better. Even though Chipp's is arguably just as good, it's just he should not be getting hit for it. Yeah, if you get in close slash range, it should be party time. But like I said before, I really don't know what else to do with him. Like I said before, I want to play him pretty badly, but like I'm not gonna struggle when like all these other characters who are here are just gonna body me anyway. This character has to outplay a shit ton. He has to outplay way too hard. Like I would, if I'm to be completely objective, I think he's outplaying even harder than Ino, man. And he actually, see, this is the sad part. Ino lacks mobility and she outplaying. This dude actually has mobility and he has to outplay 10 times harder than this character. because everyone can just throw shit at him. So it's like, all right, I guess so. You know, I guess so. Like, what else are you supposed to do? On the cool? I don't know. Don't know. But that's like my take on him. I'll have to give the character who has only one jump some absolute god tier air buttons. The problem is that even if you get into close ass range, FD instantly pushes him outside, and yeah, I hear you. FD, that's the other thing, yeah. FD does so much work against this god. When he's running at you and he presses far slash and you know it's coming because it's the only other button he's going to press. You just start FDing and he does far slash, behemoth typhoon, and it just whiffs. Like, alright, whatever, dude. I don't know, man. I have no idea what he's supposed to do. Like, even 5K, badass button, who's gonna get hit by it? You know, who's gonna let you get in range to press that? That's like your mix-up button, because it is a standing low, which is great. It does have a disjoint. But like, you're not playing footsies with that like that, I don't feel. So it's like, what are you gonna do? You could press 2S. I say once again, what are you gonna do for that? Behemoth Typhoon? But I don't know, man. I feel like there are people who are playing him and they're playing him fairly well, but like I feel like when they have to play, like I said, if someone mains Goldlewis, I feel like actually if you main Goldlewis, you better have a backup. Anyway, yeah, if you main Goldlewis, I feel like you need a backup. It's just that simple. You can't main him. I feel like you have to have a backup. And normally in Guilty Gear, you can outplay stuff without the aid of a backup. But I feel like if you're trying to be competitive, like right now in this current state of things, I feel like you would need a backup character to try to really make it work for him. But like, I guess at the same time, it's still early too, right? Like, but I just feel like, and it's not just me, right? A lot of people's early impressions of like Goldlewis is just like, man, he cool, but like, who doesn't fuck him up at this stage, you know?
Come on. What's up?
Like, is that not fair to say, right? Like, if you main,
Never forget about
like,
that.
like if you play this
That's all we
game,
got.
seriously, is it not safe to say who does not beat up this character? You know? Like, seriously. I think that's a fair assessment, honestly. Like, I wanted to play him on the side. I just think he's cool. Look, man, I like Gungrave, okay? And that's one of my favorite animes of all time. And he's just a big body version of the main character. So I'm like, hell yeah, big body heat, let's go. So, yeah.